Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Sports Blem TV. I know I haven't dropped a video in the past couple of weeks due to some moving around and still not fully settled, but eventually we will get to that space, and I promise you the content will improve as soon as we're fully relocated and have a better facility. However, today Rudolph Speid is in the news again, folks. You would have known by now. I want to say this though for the fans who are here to hear me bash or tear down Rudolph Speid. Maybe this is the wrong video for you. There's a lot of channels out there where you could get this kind of content. I'm here today to make sense of what is at hand, and congratulations to the Mount Pleasant football team as well. They were able to secure the Caribbean Cup under coach Theodore Whitmore. Now let's move on to the bigger stuff. The Reggae Boyz and Rudolph Speid is now the man in charge, with his assistant Miguel Coley. We are also hearing reports that there will be a few more ex-Reggae Boyz who will be joining up with the coaching staff. No, Rudolph Speid appointment has thrown the fans into a frenzy. A lot of fans are saying Rudolph Speid, he has 6 jobs. He's a conflict of interest. JT Taylor, you sell out. You sit on Mr. Speid lap like. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I have to laugh. Like, I've heard a lot of things. Like, people are just saying, a lot of things that have been batting for Rudolph Speid for a long time. Guys, I have bad news for you. Unfortunately, I'm part of consulting Rudolph Speid on his journey, becoming the Reggae Boyz head coach and the Reggae Boyz going forward, as I was able to put my country above what fans think. And people have to remember this. There's this saying that a lot of people get wrong, where they say, jack of all trade, master of none. A lot of people miss. There's a second part to that. If you read the actual statement and the history of it, it says, a jack of all trade, master of none, but better than the master of one. I know a lot of people say Rudolph Speid is doing a lot of different jobs. So they cut off those things in just giving you a little piece of bread by saying jack of all trade, master of none. That's not exactly what it says. You can go and read it for yourself. Jack of all trade, but it's better than being the master of one. However, Rudolph Speid has been able to be the jack of all trade, head coach of Cavaliers, the owner of the Cavaliers, head of the technical committee, a licensed coach in Jamaica. He has his hands in a lot of things. Now, there's a lot of people who are very upset that Rudolph Speid is able to basically handle so many things at once. The problem is a lot of the people who are concerned, they're not really throwing their hat in the ring. They're not really contributing to Jamaican football. Rudolph Speid has been a man who has been there, worked with the grassroots, helped to develop kids in Jamaica, basically dedicated his life to Jamaican football. It's easy to say on the internet, Rudolph Speid must go SYM Rudolph Speid, but we see that Rudolph Speid is standing firm. I was able to speak to the head coach this week, and it's he's not phased. And why should he be phased? A man who has dedicated himself, worked hard to get his license. Why should he listen to someone on the internet who has a smartphone, who types and says, you should get out of the job? Why should Rudolph Speid listen to you? You have no impact on what he's doing. So this is where I'm saying to certain fans who are getting upset, they're running around the internet, they want to kill everybody, get your machete, get your gun, burn a spliff, whatever you want to do. I'm on board with Rudolph Speid and the coaching staff, because I think we could still get it over the line. Jamaica has 2 games, and it only makes logical sense to me to support Rudolph Speid here, because he is the most qualified coach on the island. A lot of people also say, JT, we could have bring in John Herdman, we could have bring in Jesus and the 12 disciples. However, it doesn't make logical sense to me now to bring in a head coach who knows nothing about the national setup. And this head coach could maybe come in and says, I still think I could win with a Casey Palmer, Isaac Hayden, or these guys, Shamar Nichols on the team. No. Rudolph Speed knows a lot of the problems. I will go into another video and give you guys some exclusive information about what was taking place in the national team and what might have caused some of the problems that you've seen with Jamaica and why we didn't make it to the World Cup. That's something that we have to really look into, and I will give you guys some more videos on that. But right now, this is gonna be a long video, guys. We're already 5 minutes into it. I don't make a lot of short video. I don't care if people watch, but some people are gonna watch because I give you facts and I tell you when it's an opinion and I tell you when I'm just speculating. This video is a mixture of both. I was able to confirm certain things from the head coach in Rudolph Speid, what he wants to do with the team. He has confirmed that there will be 1 or 2 international friendly games coming up in January. They will be outside the FIFA window. Those games will take place in the United States, where he could bring those US based players together. And we're also hearing that Aravil Morrison and those guys should be coming back in, something that's very important. No, a lot of people are still upset that Rudolph Speed hired himself. Well, if you have the ability to hire yourself, wouldn't you hire yourself? So, I'm not here to have this argument right now. I think in life you have leaders and you have followers. The people who tend to lead are people who can withstand scrutiny. They're able to stand up in moments like this when people say, listen, you're a thief, you need to get out of the job. What leaders do here is they double down, and this is what Rudolph Speed is doing. He's doubling down. He's backing himself. That's what Rudolph Speed is doing. He's backing himself. A lot of fans are upset that Rudolph Speed is backing himself. If you want to see certain changes in Jamaican football, get your coaching license, get in there, become a part of the local grassroots football in Jamaica. If you don't just want to be a typewriter and just type on the internet and tell Rudolph Speed to give up his job because you don't like him being there, go ahead, be a part of the setup. If we see that you're doing a good job, I will support you. However, I support Rudolph Speed 150% right now. Let me put 900 more on it. I support Rudolph Speed 1,000% right now. Because I'm not just supporting Rudolph Speed, I'm supporting Jamaica, and I'm supporting Jamaica getting it over the line. Rudolph Speed is the man in charge of getting this team over the line, and I think Rudolph Speed is one of the most qualified coaches on the island. Everybody has all these ideas of who should be the head coach. Go ahead. That's not my problem. I'm telling you where I am putting my money right now. Jamaica has 2 games against New Caledonia and 1 against potentially DR Republic. We have to win the first game. Speaking to the head coach, he's already doing his research. He's already going over tape. He's already looking for strengths and weaknesses of those teams to exploit them. He's already talking about the formation he wants to play and some of the problems he saw with the midfield and why Jamaica. One of the most important things I heard from Rudolph Speed that I was happy to hear this is that he wants Jamaica to have a pressing type of football. Jamaica hasn't pressed anybody. We have sat back and given teams the momentum and given teams the advantage over us. That's not what Rudolph Speed wants to do. He wants to get in your face. If you look at his past Cavaliers team that won the Caribbean Cup, they were a pressing team, high intensity team, a team that was in the games at all times. Now he gets better players to work with, so I think he will be able to implement his plan and his strategy much more. No, you won't be able to put, as I said to Rudolph Speed, you won't be able to put out all the fires, right? The fans who don't like you from morning, the fans who don't support you, you're not gonna get them to support you. So what we're doing here is we won't be focusing on the fans who are not supporting Rudolph Speed, or they won't support Jamaica because Rudolph Speed is the coach. There's no reason to focus on them. They don't really have any impact on what's going on. We will talk to them at the end of the process, or we potentially just don't talk to them because they're just gonna get mad, they're gonna get upset. We are just here to have a discussion with the Jamaicans who have a brain, the Jamaicans who can think logically. Guys, we understand the conflict of interest. Take it to court, take it to the FIFA body, whatever you want to do. I'm not here to fight with those people because it makes no sense. I could sit on the internet and argue with you about conflict of interest. Does it change the fact that Jamaica has two games in March? Does it change the fact that you cannot remove Rudolph Speed as the head coach? So my brain is telling me you have to choose your battles. And right now, fighting a battle to get Rudolph Speed out, good luck. Rudolph Speed isn't going anywhere. He's the appointed coach. Miguel Cole is the assistant. Three past Reggae Boyz will be a part of the coaching staff. Miguel Cole is set to take the team further on as being the future head coach. So that's massive experience for him. Rudolph Speed will be going back to his job. That's something potentially he will talk about and let the media know. So some people say this was planned out. Why would it be planned? Why would Rudolph Speed plan to put himself in this predicament? If Jamaica loses, he comes under more scrutiny. If McLaren fails, he was the one who hired McLaren. So, when you cannot argue with those people who has made up their mind on Rudolph Speed. They have decided Rudolph Speed is the man who is causing all the problems in Jamaican football. Yet these people are not contributing to Jamaican football because they have a smartphone. They think they are running Jamaican football. So no, I don't know if I should say. Let me hear what you have to say in the comment section. Because there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna be upset. But the people who are coming into the comment section to tell me to suck my mother and do all these things, right when you're thinking about telling me to suck my mom, just do the same. Give your mom a nice set of chups for me before you write that in the comment section. I will reply to the comments who are respectful while disagreeing with me. I'm not asking people to agree with me, but we will just ask the moderators and all those people, just block the people who come into the comment section immediately, and we'll set up some barriers for those people because we're not going to move forward with them. They're not going to help the channel. They're just disrespectful, and we can disagree. With a video like this, I don't expect most people to come and agree with me, but the people who come to tell me to suck my mother, just do the same before you tell me that. All right, just know it's likewise, because that's how we do it over here. We try to be as professional as possible, but this is still YouTube. You have to let some of these people know what time it is, that this is not a free punching bag kind of situation, right? So this is what it is. We'll continue the discussion. Should be going live one of these days, maybe today, not sure. But yeah, Rudolph Speed is the head coach of the Jamaica national team. Put that in your pipe and smoke it for the people who cannot handle it, and beat up yourself, fight with your friends, do all you want. Rudolph Speed is the head coach of the Jamaica national team. You either support Jamaica or you don't support Jamaica because Rudolph Speed is the head coach. And we carry on. The show must go on. Nobody is bigger than the party. People, until next time, Sports Blem, JD Taylor, I'm out.